Welcome back to Overtime, ladies and gentlemen. We just got done talking about North America. Now it's time to hop the pond. I like how we call it a pond when it's like...
It's way bigger than a pond.
It's like 2,000 miles in diameter.
But it depends on your scale. Like,
in diameter.
If that was on the sun, it'd probably be a pond.
How big are sun people?
I mean, there's some really big suns, too. Like, our sun isn't even the biggest sun.
Yeah, there are bigger suns.
There are way bigger stars, because the sun is a star.
But he's my son.
I don't know why we're talking about this. We've gotten a little off topic here.
It's okay. It's fun. We go around the sun, so it's relevant always, you know. Over in Europe.
The center of our universe.
Exactly.
It was raining fire the other day. We're allowed to talk about the sun.
Our space terminology is a bit rusty today.
It tried to destroy my house, James. The RLCS was crazy in North America, and then things seemed a little bit more like standard over in Europe for RLCS until we got to the end and crazy things happened. We can talk about that a little bit more in detail as we go on, but let's take a look at the teams who qualified here for RLCS. Was some no surprise at the top two because they were going to be coming in from last season, but then Excel, Gale Force eSports, Frontline, oh man, I want to talk about those guys, Mocket eSports, Method, and then Aeriality. Who's Aeriality, Caleb? Well, we'll talk about them later.
Who is? Stop talking to yourself.
He's embraced his second personality.
It looks weird.
You can't even see me.
The thing that they can't see.
It sounds weird.
Well, the thing the viewers can't see when the graphics up is he's actually talking to his hands.
Yeah, his hands are...
Like little puppet masters.
Oh man, no, you guys are saying false things right now.
Hey man, they couldn't tell.
Yeah, these guys, Flipside and Envious obviously qualified from Season 3, but Excel makes it through. Gale Force eSports, it was another team kind of in that Cloud9 category that we were like, really hope these guys make it in, but for me, there was significantly less questions about Gale Force. They have been having so much success right now.
Any questions?
No, it's just that the qualifiers are always so
How
scary.
much will they win? That's the question about Gale Force.
How badly do they win?
How badly will they decimate every other team?
Like, imagine though, like Mystic, he's already in the RLCS under Flipside, and KDOP, you know, teammates with Mystic last season. Fairy Peak, he had to requalify with Mocket, but like KDOP, he was like a star of that team. Instead of staying on the same team and being guaranteed a spot in league play, he's like, no, I'm gonna go form a team with Turbo Pulse and Violent Panda. So that took some bravery to like give up, give up your spot.
Does it really take bravery to team up with Turbo Pulse and Violent Panda? Like, is that a thing?
I mean, when you are sacrificing something you have guaranteed.
If you're one of them, then you only have one star teammate. Like, if you're Turbo Pulsa, then like...
But Turbo wasn't going to start. Like, Turbo knew that he wasn't going to start. So him going to another team...
He had to make moves.
He wanted to be a starter. He's starter quality. KDOP, on the other hand, that was still a good team.
I thought you were about to say KDOP wasn't starter quality.
Oh,
like,
no,
he was starter quality. But KDOP, on the other hand, not starter quality.
That whole team was still a really solid team, but they still decided to call it quits and re-qualify. So that was a bold move.
Yeah, we'll talk about Aeriality in a little bit because I do want to talk about those guys. But first, we're going to talk about the rival series for Europe and the teams that qualified over there. These guys are going to be competing to get into RLCS next season. So we're going to have to be taking a look at them here. Endpoint, who just actually came off of a win at Gfinity, I believe, are going to be one of the first teams to qualify. eHawkers, Juicy Kids, some names here that we're not as familiar with, but the Supersonic Avengers, a very common name, slightly different roster, but ELMP, the main common denominator there, they'll be competing as well. And also the Leftovers down at the bottom, guys. This to me is like the Fibian.
What's the bigger surprise here? eHawkers is the number 43 seed. Not even on our list of teams to look at. That was a huge list.
Pashy himself, he was like, I've played Danny Anna before, but I have no idea who those other two guys are. He's the most prolific scout and rocket. Yeah, you know, he knows who everyone is.
When a pro on a top 8 team doesn't know who you are, you know, like that I know as commentators, like we're always like we're following the top 8 teams, but oftentimes we can lose like track of bubble players and stuff like that, and people all be like, oh, I don't know who this guy is, and they're like, what? How do you not know who this guy is? He's great and stuff like that.
We play him in matchmaking all the time.
Yeah, we play him in matchmaking all the time. I'm like, I'm just out here at Platinum, leave me alone. But like Pashy, when Pashy doesn't know who you are, like I don't know.
That voice crack was great.
But these are some good names. I was actually I was pleasantly surprised by eHawkers, especially GCR. GCR was that guy in particular.
Those dribbles, though.
Yeah, he was making people look silly with his dribbles.
I mean, eHawkers just as a whole were so surprising because when you look at like number 43 seed, for everybody who doesn't realize, I mean, RLRS is supposed to basically be like seeds 8 through 16. They're number 43. They are well beyond the RLRS. I mean, that's like just doesn't even stand a chance, and then they come in and like decimate their way on in.
Yeah, but the team is most interesting. Like, I'm excited to see how they play, and do they pull off, a set to destroy sort of situation where they're like, they weren't supposed to be here and they just got lucky, or do they actually make waves? They've got a great opportunity here. But the team that nobody expected to see down in RLRS here was the Leftovers, and they had just a crazy day. Two different series that just no way went their direction, and opened the winners bracket. They faced off against Frontline. And I was so hyped about Frontline coming into this season with Farah. I thought Farah was great in Season 3, and I was really excited to see him play, and he did not disappoint. His roster, especially with Bluey, these goals from Bluey happened all day in this series where they swept the Leftovers and sent them down.
Yeah, Bluey, he actually got removed from team, I believe it was Infusion with Doomsy and Sevenum, and he goes out and teams with two other high-powered offensive players, Chissette and Farah, but Bluey, like, he was blowing my mind.
Yeah.
With those shots. That kid was nasty.
I mean, just in general, when I knew we were in for a treat. I'd seen Blue play before. So many people knew how good he was. But again, when this much pressure's on the line, and especially when they're going against Leftovers, he has to look at his teammate Farah and know, like, this is big.
I think that it's just not fair to even call Leftovers anymore. I think they need to swap team names. Frontline, you mentioned that Bluey got removed from Team Infuse.
Booted.
We got kicked.
Forcibly removed.
Yeah,
Security guard called.
Farah too.
Tossed out of the front
Farah
door.
and
Called his
Chissette
house
as well.
to
Chissette
stop
was on
messaging
Gale Force.
Doomsy.
It's literally all three players who were kicked, and like, I don't know why, because when you see them together, they are absolutely incredible.
Yeah, and the Leftovers are now completely the other way around. Like, you've got Sicky, Snasky, and Maestro. Can you, like, having Maestro be just like, oh, whatever team, no, like this is not a Leftover storyline anymore. And to be fair, we've been talking about the Leftovers being the reverse sweep team and stuff. They've had opportunities to reverse sweep in like the last three sweeps, the last three series they've been in, extending back to last season. Haven't been able to pull it off. I kind of don't really believe in the reverse sweep story.
We just can't talk about it anymore.
That story's dead. But Frontline, seriously, those guys.
Story's done.
I cannot wait to watch that.
And Farah tweeting out like how ironic that I'm able to beat my old team to get into the RLCS.
That was revenge for him.
Yeah, and then
they should be called the Revenge Squad.
Revenge Squad. That's so much cooler than
Vengeance.
I mean, Frontline's pretty cool.
Vengeance is a little edgy. Vengeance. We are vengeance. And every time they step on the pitch, they have to do some sort of chant.
They have to do the haka, even though none of them are Islanders. Like, we saw the Leftovers drop to the lower bracket and then go up against Reality in the last series of the day. And we were like, okay, surely Leftovers has got it figured out by now. All veteran players, and they almost got the reverse sweep here, going into overtime game 5. But that's the name you see on your screen right now. Ty Lacto came up in all 3 of the overtimes to score. Was such a clutch player, and we see Reality making it into the RLCS.
Yeah, it really was Ty just going off. Those goals in the biggest moment. Yeah, that was, it was, I mean, I'm not going to lie, I'm a Leftovers fan. Seeing that happen, it was incredible and heartbreaking at the same time. But this is still a great story for Reality.
I was so pumped to see these guys scoring all over the place, and it's just great to see the upset happen, because like we were like, is there any other things?
No.
Yeah, here's you just having the reaction.
Cam.
I don't want to say it again.
I was like, Carp and I were
Gibbs
casting.
a statue?
He doesn't even move.
Is he a wax statue? I'm actually more concerned for Gibbs. There he is. Gibbs breathes.
Oh my goodness.
Can you see James turns over and looks at Gibbs like, did you see that? It's just totally emotionless.
Having a kid changed his life.
Gibbs is like, I've been here before.
Well,
Happens every season.
Yeah, I love Snasky. Like Sicky, although he says like 10 words to you at the live event, I still like Sicky. And then Maestro, man, he's a lot of fun. So I was really bummed because
he makes me feel self-conscious about my face because he's so pretty.
Super handsome.
But
that's not the reason I like him.
We talked about Sicky making
just
it.
One of the reasons.
Sicky's made it to every LAN with 3 different teams, 6 different teammates. This season, there's not a chance.
Yeah.
He's done. And I felt really bad for Sicky on that one, too.
Yeah,
But it was so crazy watching that. Like, and it was funny because, like, we're casting this game, and you're right next to me, like, on the desk, and I'm, like, seeing you jumping out of your chair, and I'm excited, too.
Yeah.
And, like, when the final goal happens, you're standing up. I've never stood up sitting in that booth before, and I, like, jumped on my feet, like, I can't believe this happened. And then Quinn pokes his head in the door, like, what just happened?
Yeah.
Like, just, like, the whole studio is
I joked about it
freaking
on there,
out.
but literally, like, I see something out of the corner of my eye, and Quinn is just, like, closing the door behind him, like, looking at me like, what just happened? And I'm like, I don't know.
Carpet was like, I'm shaking. I couldn't bear to watch that. Like it was so much stress just watching it. And like there was like 40 seconds left on the clock. And a lot of people are gonna blame Sicky. They're like, Sicky, you shouldn't have hit that. Sicky got them the chance to even be in that game with that dribble play that he had that beat the entire defense and allowed Maestro to slam it in. It was an unfortunate play, but you could also argue maybe Snasky was up too much. But you go back and watch that.
It's a team game.
Nasty shot too. He got up so quick and got a really powerful shot from a side angle.
I think it's just something with the name Ty, because we looked at emotion. We look at this team here. All the teams that had upsets to make it into the RLCS or RLRS had Ty somewhere in their team name. Like what?
I felt like you can people want to look at Sicky. I think if you're in a situation where it comes down to one goal in overtime in game 5, you can't blame one thing. And honestly, I felt like Sicky was playing the best on the leftovers roster the entire
It's a team game. Like, you get to that situation as a team where one goal can hurt you, and just because you made the most recent mistake doesn't mean it's your fault.
There were 3 overtime games. They didn't win a single one of them. They had a chance to get that reverse sweep and continue their legacy, and they just came up short. They tweeted out, we don't belong in the RLRS. We're going to show it. So we'll just have to wait and see if that comes true.
But leftovers, we'll see if they can pull it out down there in the rival series. But one more region, can't forget about it, OCE. These guys also had their qualifiers, their play-in for their region. We had 2 great teams from last season show back up. Chiefs ESC, formerly known as Alpha Sydney, and Jam Gaming, the 2 teams we saw in the World Championships. They are back to compete again. And rounding out that league over there, Pale Horse Esports, Legacy Esports, Scylla Esports, Avant Gaming, Conspiracy Esports, and Noisy Isn't Toxic. Thank you, Noisy Isn't Toxic, for not putting esports.
I don't believe anyone who has to make their team name that means Noisy is very toxic.
I actually think they should change the name to Noisy Isn't Toxic Esports.
Yeah, no, these guys, it's going to be exciting to watch their scene develop. It's been growing for a while there, and we don't live down there. We don't sit with that scene, so we'll definitely have Yummy Cheeseman on soon to talk about that region a bit more and give us a bit more details. But that does it for our wrap up here. We've got a great show in store for you guys. Ty Not Tyler from Emotion is here to talk to us. It'll be a lot of fun to hear from him. But we got so much good stuff. Top 5 plays coming up too. It's going to be great. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back.